Alright, let's talk 1996, Head of the Family. Another full moon picture. I was in a full moon mood after watching Hideous last night, which was a fun watch, like I said. And let me preface this by just saying, everybody has different tastes. I say this on the channel all the time. Everyone's entitled to their opinion 100%. There are some movies out there that I don't care for, like popular ones too. Immediately Blair Witch Project comes to mind. I do not like the Blair Witch Project at all. Like, I never liked that movie. I love Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. It's one of my favorite fucking guilty pleasure movies. I've seen that movie so many times. So I can't wait just to cover that series, just to get blasted for what I say about the first movie. I just don't care for it. I'll always give a movie its props if it's deserved. Like the whole lore on the Blair Witch and the whole impact that it had on the horror community when it first came out and everything. 100%. Total respect for that. I just don't care for the movie. Rosemary's Baby is another one, classic stuff. Don't care for it. Never liked Rosemary's Baby. But I'll never say that it's a poorly made film or anything like that. It's a very well made movie. Just doesn't do anything for me. And there's a lot of movies like that out there. And I'll have unpopular opinions and I'll get blasted for them. I don't care in the slightest. Like I said, I started this channel for me. And you'll never hear me praise a movie that I secretly don't care for just because it's a popular movie or people love it or anything like that. It's not me. You're not going to get that. You're going to get my complete honesty on how I feel about films. So blast away people who don't agree with my opinions with certain things. These are my opinions, and you'll always get 100% my honest opinion on a film. So let's jump into Head of the Family. We got Charles Van directing again. We got the gorgeous Jacqueline Lavelle again in this, which I forgot how many full moon movies she was in. Like, she's in a few, man. And it's never a complaint to see her on screen, especially in this movie, man. So, for spoiler-free stuff for people who haven't seen this, we have basically the Stackwell family, who are a weird family, and this is basically like a revenge movie. Like, there's a couple, Howard and Loretta, and she wants out of this marriage because this guy's a dick, and she's having an affair with somebody else. And the guy she's having an affair with, Lance, goes to this family to try to get Howard, the dickhead husband of Loretta, taken care of. So that's a pretty good plot synopsis. If anyone hasn't seen it, definitely check it out. This is such a fun movie. I absolutely adore this movie. And I haven't seen it in a long time, like I said in the last video. Like, it's been a while since I've seen this movie. And it was so much fun to watch it again last night. So, spoilers. Now, Howard, man, is such a dick. And they do a great job making him just so unlikable so that you're rooting for this guy to get killed. You're rooting for this guy to get taken out of the picture, like, immediately. And we have Loretta, played by Lavelle, who is so fucking gorgeous again in this movie, just like in Hideous, just like in, what the hell's the other movie she's in? The Killer Eye. Like, she's fucking just so gorgeous, this woman. And her tits are all over the place in this movie. Like, if you thought in Hideous, like, you see some nice revealing shots of her, this movie, fucking, it is awesome. And so she's having a relationship with Lance, you know, having an affair with him, fucking him, and their whole sex talk throughout the whole movie and stuff. Like, I'm surprised they can even stay in sex mode. Like, they just have full-on conversations, like talking about Howard killing him and fucking, and then after he thinks that he's dead and stuff, and the family took care of him and everything, like, he's saying, like, Howard's dead, and she's fucking him and, like, getting turned on by this and stuff. Like, that's fucking hysterical, man. That's so funny. And then we have the Stackpools. We have Otis, Ernestia, Wheeler, and the titular character, who's the head of the family, literally, Myron, which, what a great character, man, and what an awesome performance he does in this movie. I forget his name. It's PJ Sarah or something like that. I don't remember. I don't remember the actors' names. Again, I wrote Lavelle's tits. Just phenomenal in this movie. And so Lance sees the Stackwells kidnapping a trucker, and the family like looks like they lobotomize him, right? Like something like that. They do like all these experiments on all these people that they kidnap and bring into their creepy ass basement laboratory. The whole scene with the kidnappees and everything that are all fucked up and all the experiments done to them, and they're panning through the cage and stuff like that at all of them, and the one that just keeps repeating snow over and over again. What a cool scene. That's so well shot. It's eerie, it's comedic at the same time. It's so well done. What a good scene. Let's see. Wheeler's eyes like bug out of his head because he has like super like great senses and everything. He can hear amazingly well. He can see amazingly well. Like each one of these family members have their own unique aspect to them. Like that's Wheeler's. Otis is like stronger than any man on the planet, and then Ernestina is right. It's Ernestina. Yeah, Ernestina is just like a sex goddess and stuff that Myron uses for whatever reasons he might need a woman for. And then we have Myron, who's just a head in a chair, basically, with a tiny little body. And he is just extremely intelligent, and he controls the rest of them through telekinesis or like a psychic connection and stuff, which is such a great premise for a movie, man. Like really, that is such a cool premise of just having a family of quadruplets that all have their own little powers but are controlled by like the mastermind of the family, the super intelligent one. That's such a great premise right off the bat. Like so much fun to be had with that whole idea. But like Wheeler has his eyes that are bugging out of his head, and the three of them, minus Myron and stuff, go out like a lot. Like they go out into society a lot, and he just wears glasses like nobody has ever noticed, like just standing from the side of him or anything, and see through like the glasses and stuff that this guy's eyes are fucked up. He's never dropped his glasses. He never bent over to pick something he dropped and his glasses fell off and scared the shit out of somebody. he's never like tripped on the sidewalk and like his glasses went flying and everyone said, "Holy shit, what's wrong with your eyes?" Like nothing like that. I'm sure it's happened. But that would immediately tip people off to like, yeah, these people are a lot weirder than we ever thought that they were. The score in this movie is excellent. Like Richard Band does such a great job with this. Like this is one of my favorite scores of his in a movie. Like it just fits the film so well. Like just it's so zany sounding. Even near the end, we get some like a little sort of like reprise of some motifs from his Reanimator score. Like that's basically, where the Reanimator score is just straight up psycho. But such a great score. It fits this movie so well. And it definitely just sets the tone for the type of movie this is right off the bat. The whole scene with Myron and Lance with their first meeting and everything, and their back and forth and everything, and him trying to blackmail him, Myron, and saying that he needs Howard taken out of the picture and everything. That whole scene, the dialogue between them, is awesome. Like, it's so well done, so interesting, and so hilarious, just seeing this guy talking to a huge head is just brilliant to me. That's so awesome. And Lance is such a great character too. I love Lance in this movie. Like, there's so many memorable characters in this movie. Pretty much all of them. Like, even the older chick who works at the diner and stuff, she's got some funny shit that she says too. Very memorable characters in this movie, which is great to have that. Like I always say in certain movies and stuff, like, I don't remember any of these characters because they are not memorable and stuff. This isn't one of those movies. Like, I remember even before rewatching this and stuff, just from my memory of seeing this years and years ago, I remembered the whole family's names. Like, it's so memorable. So there's only one button on that intercom. Like when Myron says, so Lance can hear like I don't even know what to call them. Like, is it like patients that they become now, or experiments and stuff in the basement. And he says, go over to the intercom and push the third button. There's only one button on that intercom. Like, there's one. Like, so I don't know what that's all about. Fucking, there's one button on that thing. Lavelle's job description for this movie must have just said, like, fuck everything. Like, you're gonna be fucking this entire movie. Like, because she is. She fucks so much in this movie. Like, she's fucking, she's fucking her husband, Howard. Like, we don't see it and stuff, but their husband and wife, and the way that he is a fucking asshole and stuff. Like, maybe even rapes her and stuff against her will, but who knows? She's fucking him. She's fucking Lance all over this movie, and then she's fucking you. She's fucking, she's fucking it all over the place in this movie. It's fucking hysterical, man. At least they feed them a potato. Like, you see Otis, like, handing, like, the experiment people and stuff down in the basement. You see him hand them a single potato. So at least, at least they get a potato every day. Like, they're not completely starving them. But I thought that was hilarious, too. And then blackmailing the Stackwells for $2,000 a week after they take care of Howard, because you can see that you can get so much money out of them. And that they apparently, like, have a huge fortune in, like, oil and coal and stuff like that. Like, did they inherit this? Or, like, are they actively involved in those industries? Because I find that so hard to believe. Like, unless it's just all done by phone and Myron is the, the brains and everything and he figures something out. But I really don't see Otis and Wheeler as the businessmen type to go out and, like, handle business dealings and stuff in the coal industry or the oil industries. Just a little nitpick like I do always. Elvis P. Wrestley, the name for the mother's dog, whatever, like the security question when he calls the lawyer. That's awesome. Elvis P. Wrestley. That is so cool. What a great name for a dog. The way... the way Otis, just when they go to see the lawyer and get the letter from him and everything, the way that Otis just knocks the secretary in the face and knocks her out. Dude, I was dying. I didn't remember that from this movie, like, at all. And she's just saying to him, like, he won't see just regular, any old regular people and stuff like that. And Otis just cocks his hand back and just knocks the secretary out, like, right out of her chair. Like, her chair just falls with her in it and she's out. That's so fucking funny. Like I said, I was cracking up during that. I did not remember that at all. And then goes into the lawyer's office and gets the letter, and they're like fucking like almost breaking his hand and stuff to ask if there's any copies and everything. And then he just fucking snaps his neck, and awesome. Really good. Great stuff. And then why does Ernestina like fuck Lance just for Otis to knock him out? Like, couldn't she just come in the room, distract him, and then Otis just knock him out? Like, she had to fuck him first? Like, I didn't get that. Like, I mean, I get it, just another excuse to see tits on the screen, which no complaints here. But that, it made me think about that. It's like, she really didn't need to fuck him, right? Like, he could have just fucking came in there, the three of them, and Otis could have just knocked him out. Like, again, this is what I do, so. And does Myron, like, feel the sex? Like, when he, like, because he could see through Wheeler's eyes and hear and everything. So, like, does he feel, like, sex when Ernestina is, like, fucking people? Like, does he get turned on, like, when this is happening? Like, can he have an orgasm just through her? Like, I don't know if these are the questions that are going through my head. Like, and, like, how that whole psychic link works and everything. Which doesn't really matter for a movie like this, but interesting just to think about. And Loretta's whole speech to Myron and stuff, and trying to play, this has just been a reoccurring theme with the movies I've been watching and stuff. Like, I always relate it to, like, a Ginny versus Jason, or Tommy Jarvis with Jason, with the manipulation and the psychology and stuff like that. With her just saying that, like, oh, I love you and I've always wanted you since I first saw you, and she's stripping down, showing her tits off and everything. And then We get that fucking disgusting ass tongue come out of Myron's mouth and licks her breast and everything. And then after all that, he's just like, yeah, I got world domination to like focus on and stuff. Like I'm like I really don't have time for romance or anything like that. That's fucking hysterical, man. And then the whole speech from Myron about Joan of Arc and everything, and getting ready for the little theatrical production and stuff like that. And he's saying, asking Lance who Joan of Arc is, and then he starts going on in this whole little speech. That whole scene is amazing. Like, just the dialogue and just everything. Like, everything about that scene is so good. And for the rest of this movie, like, everything up to the end, like, it's just fantastic. Absolutely fabulous. And so then they bring out Loretta and everything, and she's forced into like playing Joan of Arc in this theatrical production in their fucking theater room and everything. And I love how like she's reading the lines and everything, and like she messes a line up, and she has a shock collar around her neck, and Myron just keeps shocking the shit out of her, and she's like, I'm reading it and stuff. Such a great scene, and Lance's line and saying like, well, the retard is doing a better job than Loretta right now. Like, that's fucking fabulous. That's so good. Oh man, this movie's so great. And then we have, after all that he's gonna light this fucking girl on fire, man. And Lance is a dick in this fucking scene. Like, he just couldn't give the name of this lawyer. I mean, yeah, it's gonna lead to him dying, but dude, this is supposedly the girl that you're fucking in love with, that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that you had some guy killed, which he thinks. We see Howard in the whole cage and stuff as another experiment or whatever. So he doesn't know this till the end. He thinks Howard's just dead. So he had this family kill somebody so he can be with Loretta. And in the end, when she's about to be burned at the stake, he won't give up this lawyer's name. Seriously? Like, that's so ridiculous. But it plays into Lance's character, man. Like, he's a very... Man, how do you even describe Lance, dude? He's just a very, like, manipulative person. Like, he's just looking out for himself. Like, the whole thing with him blackmailing the family and everything, he sees an opportunity. He sees that they were willing to, kill off Howard or take him captive and stuff like that. And, I mean, against their will, he was blackmailing them with the lawyer and everything. But then he saw that he had the upper hand, and he just kept running with it. And that just plays into his character well and stuff. That he's just concerned mainly for himself. Even though with all the bullshit, I love you and we're gonna get married and fucking all that shit to Loretta, in the end, he still just cares about himself and himself not dying or getting killed by these people. But then they go to light her on fire. Then we have Otis come and say, pretty girl, know her pretty girl and stuff. Otis is such a great character. Every character in this movie, like I said, is so memorable, is so much fun. Just seeing them on screen and the actors playing these roles and stuff, like, awesome. Like, such great characters, man. And then Otis saves Loretta and carries her off and everything. And he had time to grab like a sheet or clothing to put around her because she was nude and stuff, like when she was tied to the stake before she got burned. So like he just grabbed his fucking jacket somewhere, I guess. Like he doesn't seem like the like real thinking type to do that, but we get that. And then Lance just pushes Myron down the stairs and stuff, and he falls out of his wheelchair and everything, and he's just laying there and stuff, and he's presumably dead. But they made a sequel to this recently, didn't they? Bride of Head of the Family? Haven't seen it, so if I can track that down, I'll do that tonight. Because I definitely am interested to see where they go with that, like Bride of Reanimator style and stuff. Like, just seeing Myron again and these characters would be such a treat. So definitely we'll look into that. And then we have the ending with Loretta. They're outside the house, and Otis puts a switch on or something. There's a switch that he hits that lights the place on fire. Why would you ever have a switch that would light your fucking house on fire. Like, why would that be an option? Like, why would anyone in their right mind, and these people obviously aren't in the right mind, but why? Like, why just, I guess, to destroy the evidence and everything and kill all the fucking patients or experiments that are down there and stuff, just in case the cops closed in or something? I mean, you can explain it away like that, but it reminds me of, like, Cabin in the Woods, which I love that movie, man. And we get one of the greatest shots of that decade when they fucking hit the purge button and all the, spoilers for people who haven't seen Cabin in the Woods. I'll wait a sec or two. But yeah, when they push the purge button and then all the monsters come out of the elevator and attack the fucking military guys and everything, that's one of my favorite scenes of that fucking decade of the 2010s, and that is so fucking awesome. But I always say with that, why would you have a purge button? Like, why? Like, why would you have a button that releases all these monsters? Under what circumstance would you ever need to release all these fucking monsters and creatures and shit into the fucking lab, the underground fucking compound and stuff? Never. That's the answer. Like, so that always is a little nitpick of mine. Like, when I'm looking at that movie, I'd be like, why though? Like, why do they have this purge button? It leads to, like I said, like one of my favorite scenes in so long in a horror movie, but no need for that purge button. And it reminded me, rewatching this, that like, why would you just have a switch? Like, it's not like you have to enter like a code in, and it's like a whole, like, put two keys in, turn at the same time. No, it's just a switch, and like the house goes up in flames. Like, I don't know. And then they're on the outside and stuff, and Otis is there with Loretta, and Otis is saying and stuff like, pretty girl and everything, like, Otis, no, her pretty girl, and like, and the whole movie you're reminded of Tarzan and stuff, and I love how they throw that in there, how Loretta's like, yeah, you're Tarzan, I'm Jane, like, she does such a great job in this movie, man. Like, Lavelle, she does so good in this movie. Like I said in Hideous and stuff, that she gave the best performance in that movie, like, she might give the best performance in this movie too. Like, she's just so good, man. She's such an underrated actress. And after that whole Tarzan Jane thing, she starts realizing and stuff that, you know what, like, Howard's gone, Lance is gone. These people have all this money through the coal and oil industries and everything. Like, maybe it's time to be practical now. Like, maybe it's time to, take care of myself. Even though she's taking advantage of this fucking poor guy who can't think for himself or anything like that. And she ends up marrying Otis. And they're sitting there in front of the guy and stuff who's marrying them. And like, she has to even say to him, like, say I do and stuff. And he does. Then they're pronounced husband and wife, and you may kiss the bride. And she's like, yeah, we'll just skip that part. That's fucking funny. And then just Otis, she starts laughing a bit, and then Otis just starts with this maniacal fucking laugh that just keeps going on and on. And then that's it. Like, that's how it ends. It's just him maniacally laughing and her being like, fuck, what did I get myself into, man? Like, it's such a fun movie, man. This is such a great movie. Like I said, like, Hideous was a fun watch. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff in there. It just I had my gripes with it, and it just isn't something I'd rewatch for a while. But this movie, this is a great full moon picture. Not even full moon, this is a great fun movie, man. Like, for any occasion. Like, so much fun, such memorable characters, so many great lines, so many awesome shots of Lavelle's tits and her fucking and everything, which is always great to see in any horror movie. Just tits galore, tits flopping at the screen everywhere in this movie. And just, like I said, the characters, just the whole the whole family and stuff. And Myron is such a amazingly memorable character in a movie. Like, just the whole premise of this movie, like I said, of having this family with this psychic link, that this giant head on a tiny ass little body is the brains of this family and is psychically connected to them and controls them, is a brilliant premise. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in another movie. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that exact premise used of like a family of 4 or a family of whatever number that are being psychically controlled and are connected and everything. Obviously by a giant head, like that you never see, but just that whole premise alone is just brilliant. And this movie is so good, such a fun watch, and I highly enjoyed rewatching it. And like I said, if I can track down the sequel for this, I think it came out like 2 years ago, right? Like 2020 or something like that. If I can track down Bride of Head of the Family, I'm definitely doing that as my first movie tonight. But such a good movie, such a good full moon picture. And yeah, now I'm in like full moon mood. That's hard to say. Full mood. Fuck you, you know what I'm saying. I'm in the mood for full moon pictures. There we go. Take the 2 M's, flip it, and then that's better. But absolutely. So I'm definitely going to track that down and try to watch that tonight. And I'll probably do The Killer Eye also, because I really like that movie too. But all right, guys. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you later tonight. Take care.